Most people believe financial freedom is one destination, but in reality, it's a ladder, and most never make it past the second step. There are 5 distinct levels of financial freedom, and each level represents a completely different way of living, thinking, and operating with money. Some people are stuck surviving, others reach stability, but never escape dependence, and a very small percentage climb high enough to achieve true financial sovereignty. In this video, the 5 levels will be broken down, what each level looks like, why most people get stuck, and what it actually takes to move higher. Because once these levels are understood, money stops being random and becomes a system that can be climbed step by step. Level 1. Financial survival. What does life look like when every dollar determines whether stability exists? The first level is survival. At this level, income barely covers basic needs: housing, food, transportation, utilities. There is little to no margin, no buffer, no room for error. Every unexpected expense creates stress. A car repair, a medical bill, a missed paycheck. Even small disruptions can create major consequences. Financial decisions at this level are reactive. Short-term thinking dominates. The focus becomes immediate survival, not long-term progress. Saving feels impossible. Investing feels unrealistic. Planning feels irrelevant, because survival consumes attention, and attention determines behavior. The goal at this level is not wealth, it is stability, because without stability, nothing else can be built. But escaping survival is only the beginning. Level 2. Financial stability. What happens when the pressure of survival begins to fade? The second level is stability. At this stage, income reliably covers expenses. Bills are paid on time. There may be a small emergency fund. Financial stress still exists, but it is no longer constant. Life feels more controlled, more predictable, more manageable. This is where most people believe they are doing well. But beneath that stability, a hidden vulnerability remains. Income is still tied directly to time: a job, a paycheck, a schedule. If income stops, stability disappears. This creates a fragile form of security. Everything works, as long as nothing goes wrong. Stability feels like progress, but it is still dependence, because true freedom requires income that exists without constant effort. Level 3. Financial security. What changes when income is no longer the only line of defense? The third level is financial security. At this stage, protection begins to form. Savings grow. Emergency funds become substantial. Debt is reduced or eliminated. Investments begin to take shape. Financial decisions become less reactive and more intentional. There is space to think, space to plan, space to make decisions without urgency. This level introduces something critical: confidence. Because short-term disruptions are no longer devastating, they are manageable. But even at this level, one key limitation still exists. Work is still required. Income is still necessary, and time is still being traded. Security protects against loss, but it does not create freedom, because freedom requires leverage. Level 4. Financial freedom. What happens when income no longer depends on time? This is the level most people imagine when they think about financial freedom. At this stage, passive income replaces earned income. Investments generate consistent cash flow. Assets begin working independently. Examples include dividend-producing stocks, rental properties, business income, investment portfolios. Income continues, whether work is being done or not. This creates something powerful: choice. Time becomes flexible. Decisions become intentional. Work becomes optional, not required. But reaching this level is not accidental. It requires years of discipline, consistent investing, delayed gratification, and resisting lifestyle inflation. Because the gap between income and spending is what fuels asset growth. Without that gap, progress stops. Freedom is not created by earning more. It is created by owning more. But even this level is not the final destination. Level 5. Financial sovereignty. What exists beyond financial freedom? The 5th level is financial sovereignty. At this level, wealth exceeds personal needs. By a wide margin, income from assets is significantly greater than living expenses. Money becomes a tool, not a necessity. Risk tolerance changes. Decisions are no longer driven by fear of loss. Instead, capital is deployed strategically. Opportunities can be pursued. Businesses can be built. Investments can be scaled. Impact can be created. This level introduces something rare: control. Control over time. Control over resources. Control over direction. And most importantly, control over dependence. Economic downturns become opportunities, not threats. Market volatility becomes manageable, not stressful. Wealth becomes generational, not temporary. Sovereignty transforms wealth into power, and power creates independence. Why most people never climb higher? If the path is clear, why do most people stay in the first 2 levels? Because progression requires behavior change, not just income. Most people increase income, but also increase spending. Lifestyle expands, expenses grow, the gap disappears. And without that gap, there is nothing to invest, nothing to compound, nothing to build. This keeps individuals stuck, earning more, but never advancing. Additionally, many focus only on income instead of ownership. They trade time, but never build assets. And without assets, freedom remains out of reach. The system rewards consumption, but progression requires discipline. The real ladder. The 5 levels of financial freedom are not determined by luck. They are determined by structure. Survival depends on income. Stability depends on consistency. Security depends on protection. Freedom depends on assets. Sovereignty depends on scale. Each level requires a different mindset, a different strategy, and a different relationship with money. Those who remain focused only on income stay dependent. Those who focus on ownership begin to rise, and those who combine discipline with time build financial armor. Most people never leave stability. Very few reach sovereignty. But the path is not hidden. It requires discipline, ownership, and time. Armor your life. Master your realm.